Hey everyone, on behalf of Forge College, I am absolutely thrilled to welcome you to this explainer on network configuration and lifecycle management. Right now, we're navigating the deployment and documentation module of our capstone course on ecosystem-integrated Solana dApps, which, of course, is part of the much wider Solana ecosystem DeFi, Oracle's AI, and applied protocols track. Now, in our previous lesson, we mapped out our deployment planning and strategy. We basically wrote the master playbook. But today it's time to actually execute that playbook without causing a total absolute disaster.
Because, let me ask you this, what actually happens when you accidentally tweet your dApp's private keys? Or, push them up to a public GitHub repo? I'll tell you exactly what it's like. It is literally like live streaming your bank PIN to the entire internet while leaving your ATM card taped to the machine. It's a complete nightmare. Manual, messy deployments are a massive breeding ground for these kinds of human errors. If you're manually copy-pasting endpoints and keys, you are just one late-night, caffeine-deprived typo away from absolute catastrophe.
So, to keep our sanity and our security intact, we're going to follow a game plan today. First, from planning to execution. Second, environments and secret handling. Third, the release manifest. Fourth, automating with deployment scripts. Fifth, vibe coding with AI. And finally, number 6, the final deployment check. Let's jump in.
All right, Section 1. From planning to execution, or as I like to call it, the high-stakes restaurant.
Think of software deployment a lot like running a culinary empire. Building locally on your laptop, that's your home kitchen. You can make a mess, burn the toast, nobody cares. Deploying to a testnet, okay, now you're cooking for harsh food critics. And mainnet, that is opening night at a Michelin star restaurant. You simply cannot afford to drop the soup. We need to convert our planning decisions into executable, audit-friendly deployment artifacts. We wrote the menu in the last lesson, but now we have to codify exactly how the cooking happens so we don't have the chef guessing the recipe from memory on opening night.
That brings us to Section 2, Environments and Secret Handling, which is basically setting up the kitchen.
Our single code base has to be able to adapt to all those different environments, local, testnet, mainnet, without ever hard-coding secrets into the repository. We have 2 main ways to handle this config. Build time injection is literally like baking a cake with the ingredients already mixed inside. You embed choices like a testnet RPC URL directly into the artifact. It gives you a perfectly repeatable build. Runtime configuration, on the other hand, is like adding toppings right before serving. The artifact is environment agnostic, and you pass in environment variables when it actually runs. That makes hot swapping and rollbacks incredibly easy since the base code never changes.
So let's break down exactly where things should live. RPC endpoints and network IDs, they belong in a checked-in config or runtime environment variables handled by a release engineer. Program IDs go straight into a version to release manifest. But your API keys and private keys, these meaningfully increase your risk. They belong exclusively in a secret manager or CI encrypted secrets, never in plain text. And finally, your non-secret feature flags can safely hang out in your checked-in config.
To keep all these variables from turning into a chaotic mess, we use a strict precedence order. Command line flags override environment variables, and environment variables override runtime defaults. This is absolutely crucial because it makes debugging deterministic. If your dApp suddenly connects to the wrong network, you just follow this exact chain of command to trace the rogue value.
Moving right along to Section 3, the release manifest. This is your master recipe.
We've got our kitchen set up, right? Now we need our very first concrete artifact. Enter the release manifest. This is just a YAML or JSON file that gets checked into a release branch, and it records your semantic version, program IDs, build artifact hashes, and the environment tag. It is the absolute single source of truth for a deployment. If something breaks on mainnet, this manifest gives you exact reproducibility and perfectly safe rollbacks.
Now, as we transition into automating all of this, I want you to burn this quote into your memory. Your scripts must fail loudly on missing configuration. Seriously, if a script silently ignores a missing API key and somehow deploys half-baked code to mainnet, that is a disaster. We want our automation to scream and halt at the very first sign of missing data.
And that perfectly tees up Section 4, automating with deployment scripts. These are your sous chef's instructions.
To avoid those silent failures, we need a script that accepts a target environment, like --env testnet, and executes a rigid 6-step sequence. Step 1. Validate required envars. Again, fail loudly. Step 2. Build artifacts. Step 3. Upload artifacts to storage. Step 4. Deploy the on-chain program. Step 5. Update the release manifest. And step 6, run post-deploy smoke tests. Lock this sequence into your CI, and you guarantee reliable execution every single time.
Which brings us to Section 5, Vibe Coding with AI, your tireless robot sous chef.
Now, vibe coding sounds like magic, but let's demystify it right away. It's really just treating AI as an assistant that writes the boring scaffolding for you. It's an iterative cycle. First, you prompt the AI for a scaffold with very concrete constraints. Then, run it locally to observe where it fails, because it will fail, and that's fine. Next, refine it by adding pre-flight checks, like making sure the Solana CLI is even installed. Add structured logging and exit codes so your CI can actually read it. Then just iterate on the JSON manifest format until it's perfect.
But please, whatever you do, always test locally with a dry run mode to print your intended actions. You have to replace secret-dependent commands with safe, no-op stubs. This lets you test the script's logic safely without accidentally performing destructive actions on the blockchain.
All right, the home stretch, Section 6, the final deployment check. Time for plating the dish.
We have our ingredients, our recipe, and our automated sous chef. This is where your CI job integrates those scripts, securely pulls those precious secrets, and runs the deployment. To keep it ironclad, we use Lifecycle hooks. These ensure your automation enforces release gates and supports safe maintenance windows. Think of them like a bouncer at the kitchen door. They entirely prevent bad code from ever reaching the tasting room.
So, let's summarize the big takeaways here. First, keep secrets out of the repo using secret managers. No exceptions. Second, always produce a version release manifest for every release. Third, write deployment scripts that fail loudly and log deterministically. And finally, use AI scaffolding to iterate quickly, but always validate with dry runs.
I want to leave you with one final, slightly provocative thought to chew on. If your deployment script fails silently, does your release manifest even matter? Think about it. A perfect plan means absolutely nothing if the execution lies to you. We'll be tackling exactly how to troubleshoot those silent failures in our next explainer. Until then, on behalf of Forge College, thank you so much for hanging out with me. To continue your Web3 journey and dive deeper into this subject, be sure to visit us at forge.college. Keep building, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next one.